Yes, people, I'm Srini, and you are watching MTAG TV. And oh my God, it's a massive night of Champions League football. It's City versus PSG, second leg. City are, of course, in the lead 2-1. And my God, it's going to be a massive game of football. I've been thinking about this all day. But before we actually get into the game, I'll go to Adi first. What is City's lineup? Man, I want to react to it.
Yes, okay, here we go. City's lineup tonight is Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, and Chenko are the back four. Fernandinho and Gundogan in midfield. There's Bernardo, Mahrez, Foden, and De Bruyne. Arnav, do you want to go for PSG's lineup?
Yeah, let me drop the bomb first. Mbappe is not fit enough to start, so he starts on the bench. Navas in goal. Florenzi, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, and Diallo replaces Bakar. That makes the back four. Herrera replaces Gay, who's not eligible to play this game owing to his red card. He's accompanied by Verratti and Paredes in midfield. Di Maria and Neymar on the wings, and Icardi starts up top. So, about the City lineup, Ritvik, what do you make of it? And in particular, what do you think about Zinchenko starting over Chancellor?
I think this is the perfect lineup because last game we saw that Cancelo wasn't the best and he was getting played by Di Maria on every attack. And Zinchenko changed the game. He came in, he was perfect defensively, he assisted De Bruyne's goal, which adds to it. And I just think that it's a lineup that has been used before. Fernandinho coming in makes a great impact because he's our captain. It's his birthday. He deserves to be there, leader. And I just think that's the best way to go about it. Shri, what do you think of Fernandinho coming in for Rodri?
I mean, Daksh's comment sums it up. The birthday boy is here, man. Fernandinho starting. I mean, in the last game, Fernandinho was hooked off at 60 minutes, which was very interesting to see. And I'm not surprised that Fernan is playing. I think Rodri had a bit of a rough time of it in the last game. He was quite sloppy. He wasn't the best defensively. You can say the same for Cancelo as well. And Fernandinho's experience, how Fernandinho, transitions the play is very, very crucial. Apart from the fact that he's defensively still an absolute monster. And Zinchenko provided that calming influence in the last game, but no one does that like a Fernan. We used to have David Silva doing it, but Fernandinho just calms everything down because he is a sensei when it comes to playing in the middle of the park. So yeah, man, I'm super, super hyped for just the lineup that Pep's gone for. For once, Pep has not gone for a lineup that makes us sweat. So yeah, so that's my take. But Adi, I'll go to you. What do you make of PSG's lineup? No Mbappe. I mean, that's the headline, really. So what do you make of that?
I mean, no Mbappe, it almost feels like it's game over for some reason. I don't support PSG, but I'm gutted to see that he's not there. We saw him limping in Manchester. Ritvik said that it might be a ploy to make it seem like he's fit, but that's sadly not the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, Ganage is going to be a huge miss. Obviously, ridiculous red card. Fair, but again, huge miss for them. And yeah, this lineup is, I think, the best that they could probably make it. Surprised to see Diallo, and I thought Baka had a half-decent game. Surprised to see him drop, but Diallo has a bit more experience, so probably that should come to the fore. Arnav, I want to get your thoughts quickly on the PSG lineup as well.
Yeah, Mbappe, huge miss, of course. I kind of agree with you. It feels like PSG are even more disadvantaged without him. But I'm actually happy Herrera's playing. Firstly, he hates Man City, and secondly, he's never let them down defensively for all the questions about him replacing Gay, and he's also a pressing monster, so that works in his favor. What surprises me about the lineup is Icardi over both Moise Kean and Draxler. Keep in mind that Moise Kean has only recently recovered from COVID, but he had a great game against Barca in the first leg. So, what do you guys make of Icardi over Kean and Draxler?
They go for it.
I'm actually very surprised to see Icardi on the team sheet. Very, very surprised. He's had a stinker of a season, if that's putting it nicely, this year. And Moise Kean has been light years ahead of him, even though he's 5-7 years younger. Again, because Moise Kean had COVID, he probably hasn't recovered. I think that's the only reason he's not in the 11 for today. But I don't think Icardi is the solution. I mean, yes, he's been he's a solid player when you look at him, but not this year whatsoever. I just want to quickly touch upon PSG just really quickly again. You mentioned Herrera. I feel like Herrera is not respected enough in his role, especially at PSG. At United, he was very underrated. We know that. Arnav knows that. But I feel like if there's anyone who could come in when someone like Gay is suspended, Herrera has been fantastic for PSG this entire campaign. Put some respect on his name, and hopefully he does some badness today. I want to go to the two City boys quickly. On the weekend, Kun Aguero, Ritvik has a jersey at the back. The man himself, brilliant goal, very solid performance. Are you surprised to maybe not see him start, considering City in that first half, in the first leg, they looked like they needed a number 9, that out-and-out striker. Aguero is obviously that no-brainer solution. Do you think he needed to start today? Ritvik, I'll go to you first, just because you have Aguero at the back.
See, Aguero, I think Aguero is my god, okay? Growing up, I used to salute him, I used to worship him. But I think it's a correct decision to bench him today, just because of the fact that he got his first full 90 minutes the other day after so long. Okay, and in the first half, he was a little stingy. His movement wasn't the best. He was playing well, but it wasn't as good as, it usually is. And yes, he was fantastic in the second half, but I just think that there's not enough time to, train him to the system that we actually work, and that's actually worked up until now. We haven't lost a single Champions League game. And I don't think you'd want to, differ from that system. So I just think it's okay. If needed, he can come on in the second half. It's a tie that we have more or less the upper hand on, and we shouldn't lose it from here. And I don't think we need a number 9 to, finish things off. So yeah,
Really.
Yeah, I mean, I'd echo Ritvik's points as well. I think that even though Aguero showed a high level of sharpness, and he surprised all of us because we didn't expect his body to be able to get that sort of a performance out of him, because we all know that the ability is never going to go, because you just don't forget to finish. At the same time, you can't put Aguero in the biggest game of the season when he's only had one spell of 90 minutes where he's been excellent, and especially against Crystal Palace. So I think Pep stuck to his guns even in the last game. We could have had Aguero. We really missed a focal point, but the proof was in the pudding, and we got the crucial win. So it would be amazing to have peak Aguero play in this team, and I would definitely draft him in. But at the minute, there's no chance. False 9 FC to the death. So yeah, I would not start Aguero. But there's a very interesting comment from Dilcher, and I'll go to the PSG boys for this one. Not really the PSG boys. I mean, one guy's supposed to be Europa League club. One guy's supposed to be club that's going to be in the Conference League. So, it is what it is. But Dilcher Dupia with an interesting comment. He says, tactically, what should PSG do different with Icardi over Mbappe in the squad? Cross and hope for the best. Arnav, what's your take?
Yeah, as surprised as I am with Icardi's selection, this is perhaps one of the reasons that I assume Poch has in mind. City did look shaky with crosses in the first leg. Marquinhos getting that header, beating Cancelo in the air, and even Paredes got a header that was close. If you guys remember,
Yeah.
he beat Diaz in the air, I believe. So I think with somebody like Di Maria and even Neymar, who are great crossers of the ball, they can look to maybe be a little more aerial this time around. And Icardi is definitely has an advantage over Keane and Draxler in that respect. Adi, you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Again, Cross and Inshallah might not be the way to go for PSG. Considering City have such a fantastic defensive line. I mean, really, is Icardi or Man to do the damage? I don't think so. I think if there was pressure on Neymar before the game, it's probably tenfold now. So he's again the man that has everything to do for. He doesn't even have Mbappe, as we've highlighted like 5 times already, and not looking good at all. Srini, do you want to highlight Shoria Tagi's comment quickly?
Yeah, well, he says UEFA ambassador Sir Alex Ferguson visited the team hotel of one of the teams playing tonight. It seems legit. Yeah, I mean, it was very, very dodgy, first of all. I think Sir Alex Ferguson is not the man to give you tips when he's never beaten Pep. He's lost to Pep in 2 Champions League finals, so I don't know what he's doing over there, to be very honest. So, yeah, man, very, very dodgy.
He's friends with the PSG president, man. City fans trying to make everything about themselves.
Let's be
It's all
honest, Sir Alex
mind.
Ferguson
All in the mind.
Sir Alex Ferguson is absolutely shaking right now. his club is celebrating beating Roma while we probably are going to reach Champions League final. So, I get it. But anyway, let's move on from that. I think Ishita has a very, very interesting comment. And Ritvik, I'll go to you for this one. She says, do you think City should play on the counter and just let PSG commit bodies forward, considering they have the lead? Shout out to Ishi, by the way, for the excellent comment. But Ritvik, what's your take?
Not at all. I mean, when have we counted? Which game have we, maybe Chelsea. That was the only game where we didn't dominate possession. But apart from that, we are at our best when we dominate possession and we make our opponents hungry for the ball and then they lose their stamina. That's our game plan. And then we force them to make errors and that's how we score. And I think we should stick to that. We're the best team in the world that, holds possession. Why not do that? Why not make them run like round around you and just tire them off and then just waste time in the end or something? And PSG never dominate the ball. They always counter. They play a counter-attacking game, and I think that's what they'll do today as well. They don't have Mbappe to do that, which is a very, very, very good thing for City. And I think we'll just dominate the game, like always. What do you think, Sri?
Yeah, I just quickly wanted to add to that. Apart from that, while I think PSG are very, very good on the counter, but they don't have Mbappe. I think Mbappe completes that counter. Without Kylian Mbappe, Neymar can't supply those balls to anyone. And apart from that, when ballers like Neymar and Verratti don't have the ball, they're obviously going to be very, very frustrated. So I think the more City do that, the more City slow down the game, the more PSG get frustrated. And City, if they do get an early goal, I mean, they can actually just follow that sort of a philosophy and absolutely destroy PSG. So I think the more City keep the ball, the better they keep the ball, because in the first leg, I think they didn't keep the ball well at all in the first half. PSG absolutely battered us. The better it will be for City. Ritvik, you want to add something to that? And then we'll go to PSG, guys. We get it. We're very, very biased. But Ritvik, anyway, go for it.
And the person who can, change the run of play, can slow down the game, can pump up the game, is Fernandinho. He's the best at doing that, and that's why he's starting, I feel. He'll dominate, he'll dictate the play, and he'll, make the most out of City's possession, and he'll ensure that there are no mistakes at the back. That's pretty much it. That's all I want to say.
See, guys, there's obviously too much free talk. I'm going to take some of the comments really quickly. Guys, whoever's commenting, thank you for commenting. First of all, make sure you're subscribed. There's a little button down there. Click that. Helps us out a lot. And keep your comments coming. We have Ronaldo123 Rocks, who's back in business. Hello, sir. We've missed you a lot. He says, happy birthday, Daksh, but that's not what Daksh meant. Manav Kohli says, what's up, boys? Looking good. Thank you, Manu. Appreciate you being here. Dilshay has a really good question. Dilshay says, question for the City boys. Do we get a post-game YouTube live in case of a City loss? I personally guarantee you that will happen if that's the case. Are you guys going to come on or no?
They'll have to.
I will tomorrow if we lose.
Dilshay, I'm just saying that I'm not sure, but it does look like you've added bottle emojis. So just for that, we're going to do the post-match live. But anyway, go for it.
Gaurav with another comment. He says, Icardi composure and passing is better than any other PSG attacker available. Be on the lookout for a lot of 1-2 passing between the front three and trying to get Neymar in behind. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Because I don't think I agree with that. If Mbappe was in the picture, I would have probably said yes, because they do link up half decently, but he's not. So does anyone want to add anything?
Arnav, go for it, man. We've talked a lot, honestly.
Yeah, Icardi, see, composure, passing, everything said and done, he needs to get on the score sheet, because the 2 away goes down, they need to get a goal. So I think as a PSG fan, or even Pochettino must be telling him, do what you have to, just get on the score sheet, because if they don't get a goal in the first half, I think they're in real trouble.
Well, Srini, can you just highlight Shaurya's comment really quickly? Really interesting comment. He says, what changed at halftime during the first leg? PSG seemed like they were going to walk all over City in the first 45. And the second half was a completely different story altogether. How did that happen exactly? Now, before I come to you guys, I just want to say that entire first half, City it looked invisible. They probably had one clear-cut chance with Phil Foden when he had a shot. And PSG were phenomenal. I mean, they were balling all over the park. Mbappe and Neymar with the tricks and flicks. Verratti had an absolute monstrous first half. The second they came out onto the pitch, it was just 11 men behind the ball for no reason whatsoever. It's not like City were piling the pressure from the first second. And they let City back into the game. City boys, I want to take your opinion first. Where did it change and why?
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to echo all of your points. In the first half, PSG were absolutely excellent, and in terms of just looking at both of the halves, I think PSG were much better than us. I don't think we had an excellent second half at all. I don't think we created a lot of chances. We also lucked out, let's be honest, but then we did make our own luck because PSG fell into our trap. City are obviously going to dominate possession. PSG should have done what they've always done, which is to play on the counter. I think the fact that they just couldn't keep the ball, the fact that firstly City pressed really, really well in the second half. I think in the first half they were trying to be a little passive because they wanted PSG to make mistakes. But in the second half, that was not the case. They were pressing very, very high. And the as Ritvik alluded to earlier, the change that Pep made, which is of course Alexander Zinchenko for Cancelo, changed the entire game. Just because it added that calming influence, it made sure that Di Maria, Neymar, they couldn't win those silly fouls. And it just made sure that in the build-up, we were much more balanced because we actually had a left footer on the left-hand side. So I think overall, we dominated possession, we pressed, and we just did the basics of football, like Fabian Delph famously said in the Amazon documentary, which is kind of why we just dominated, and it was expected that we'd score a goal. Ritvik, what's your take on that?
Yeah, pretty much what you said. I just wanted to go into a little bit more into the details. What I think what the change was basically in terms of pressing, that in the first half you could only see Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne pressing high, and Foden and Mahrez, they were just dropping back with the wing backs, and that wasn't creating much of that the City impact, City press that's usually there. But in the second half, you could see all four of them press higher, which caused PSG to make lots of mistakes, which Foden missed a couple of goals over there. But if he would have scored, we would have won 3-4-1. But that just led to the added pressure, which I think will happen today as well, and this is where the game changed for me. Of course, the Zinchenko thing and better defensively, all of that. That's all.
Okay. Well, guys, before we get into the approaches for both sides, I have a really interesting question for the audience. So make sure you get your answers in. And if you win, we'll give you a special shout out and maybe a little trophy. But yeah, that's debatable. Okay, so this is your question, okay? And no Googling, because we had a lot of people who Googled these answers last time. The question is, 3 people. Yeah, exactly. 3 people have won the Champions League a record 3 times. If Guardiola goes on to win it, he will be the 4th. So 3 managers have won it a record 3 times. Who are they? And you get a bonus point if you can name the clubs they managed. Get in the comments, let us know. And remember, no Googling, otherwise we'll know when you're Googling, just by the way. Srini, you want to add something?
And by the way, guys, someone in the comments actually said Valencia the last time. You have 100 Google accounts. You're making fake accounts because that is ridiculous. No one's ball knowledge is that good to say Valencia. So do not do that. Get it wrong. It's okay. You can say Claudio Ranieri. We won't judge you. But anyway, let's move on, Adi. You wanted to let's talk about PSG, man. I think we've halved on City way too much. So yeah, yeah.
So Arnav, I'm going to come to you first. PSG approach. Where do they win the game and where do they lose the game if something goes wrong? Your opinions.
See, firstly, I believe they've got to take initiative in this game. 2 away goals down, and I think what works for them is that they've got a set target in mind. And another thing that I've been thinking about, it doesn't knock them out if they concede a goal, right? They have to score 2 goals regardless of that. Of course, if they don't concede, then they go through, and if they do concede, then it goes to extra time. But either way, they're not going to lose. So I want them to go all guns blazing, get a goal in the first half. And even if they do concede, doesn't change anything. You've still got to get 2 goals. Try and have a little bit more possession, and maybe just try and do what they did in the first half last time around, because they were quite phenomenal in the first half, and just keep their heads this time around. I think one thing that's going unnoticed in the second half, they lost their heads. You look at the red card from Gay, it was a needless foul. You look at the manner of the goals conceded. First goal, Navas has to save that. Second goal, the wall it was embarrassing. If you do that in a UCL semi-final, you deserve to go out. It's a schoolboy error. It wasn't a great free kick. I'm sorry, Mahrez fans. It really wasn't. It wasn't. A plain. It was. If the wall stands still, it hits the wall and it bounces out, right? So don't make these rookie errors. Keep your heads and try and get a goal in the first half to put some pressure on City, because City have never made it to the UCL final. They are likely to crackle if they concede first. That's what I believe. You want to add something, Adi?
Firstly, I want to add something. I want to add something. This guy had to get the whole City have never. He said never with like an actual bold on it. That City have never made the UCL. Fan, we get it, man. Your team's in the Europa, so you need to chill out. But Adi, I'll go to you for this one. Arnav made a very interesting point about how PSG should do the same thing that they did in the first leg, in the first half, which is that they were very dominant. How important is that approach? Because they were dominating possession, they were very quick on the ball, because they're known for their counter attack. So how important is, ironically enough, a possession-based approach for PSG in this leg?
See, I mean, I feel like City are not going to allow them that because they're the home side now. They will absolutely run them out of the park. But they need to start off the way they did that first half. They ran them off the park completely. City looked absolutely clueless. That first half, when I was watching it, I was hoping and praying that PSG scored 2 in that first half and finished this game. But again, that didn't happen. That's probably the only way to go forward. I mean, you cannot sit back away from home when you've already had 2 away goals, just gifted to Man City, and just let them have possession and hope and pray to just get on the counter attack. So I don't think that's the case. For City fans, I want to ask you the question, and maybe Ritvik, you can go first. Srini's question tied up about how PSG might go all gung ho and start off on the front foot. How does City combat that if that is the case? What kind of, do you go into your shell, or do you also try and just dictate? How does it go?
So we've seen City, concede the first goal so many times this season. Against Dortmund, we did it. Both against PSG, we did it. But what got us at the end of the day was that we stuck to our game plan. And I think that is what's most important today, is just that we shouldn't lose our confidence. We have the leaders on the pitch. We have Fernandinho on the pitch. That's a big, big plus for us. We have Ruben Dias. We have Kevin De Bruyne. These 3 need to lead us. They need to just not let our heads drop. Just stick to the game and just keep the ball, keep passing, and just try to get that error from PSG and score 1 goal. 1 goal, and I think we win. We don't need more. So yeah, even if we concede 1, we just need 1 goal. So pretty much the same. Just don't change at all.
Srini.
I'm sorry, what was the question again? I'm a little distracted. I was already thinking about the game. What was the question again? I'll be honest.
I'll repeat the question.
Yeah.
My question was similar to yours. If PSG start out of the blocks and play the way they did in the first half, or at least try to, how does City combat that?
Okay, wow, my God, very professional of me to forget the question that Adi asked me. But anyway, yeah, I think it's very interesting because this tends to happen to us when we play Liverpool. When we play Liverpool absolutely hammer us, and we Adi's already smiling, the bias on this show, honestly. But Liverpool absolutely hammer us, and we go into our shell, we concede goals, and we just absolutely bottle it. But there was actually that game where Bernardo Silva acted like a child, and he refused to clap for Liverpool when that whole Guard of Honor thing happened. In that game, Liverpool actually started very well, but City ended up winning 4-0. And the reason for that is because they calmed things down. They slowed the game down. PSG would want the game to be very, very fast because they have the ability to play those one-touch passes with the likes of Neymar and Verratti playing very, very slick football. So what City need to ensure is that the likes of Gundogan get on the ball a lot. The fact that, the likes of Fernandinho get on the ball, join those 2 centre halves, just calm the game down. Because even in the Dortmund game, they were pressing Zinchenko. What teams like this tend to do is, because City use their fullbacks a lot in build-up, they tend to press the flanks a lot. So City need to keep the ball very, very well and just slow the game down. The more you do that, the more PSG get tensed, and the more you do that, of course, the lesser the chance of PSG actually making a comeback happen. 2 questions here. Adi, I'll go to you for this one. What's happening?
Why are you smiling, Adi?
Yeah, he's smiling too much, man.
I just want to add really quickly before Arnav asks his question or his statement that don't forget, I just want to point out, Liverpool have dumped City out 5-1 on aggregate in the Champions League. Don't you ever forget it. Just doesn't matter whether you win the Champions League this time. We have 6 Champions League titles and we dumped you out.
Adi, man, you're quite insecure.
You might not play the Champions League next season, bro.
Exactly. I'm not playing it next year. I know that, so I'm just letting it out now. Arnav, go.
Yeah. Just regarding City's approach, I know you guys don't want Pep to tinker with the lineup, and I think he's done the right thing. But would you consider, since we're taking hypothetical scenarios, let's say it's 0-0 or even if City are say 1-0 down, would you consider getting on Rodri with Fernandinho, having two DMs on the pitch for a half, or maybe getting an extra centre back? Like, at what point does City close the shop?
Srini, do you want to
Who's
take
going to
it?
go for this one, Ritvik? I'll go for this one. Why not? Sorry, guys. Awkward silence. We get it. But anyway, if we do concede a goal, which is very plausible, by the way, guys, we don't want you to get the impression that we think that City are going to steamroll PSG. Not at all. PSG were excellent in the last game, and even tonight, they could batter us. Why not? And if a 1-0 happens, which is very plausible, I still would not get either a Laporte or a Rodri on the pitch. The reason being, A, we have a good enough defense to battle against PSG, to stop PSG from actually making those clear-cut chances. I mean, in the last game alone, Mbappe had 30 touches the ball. Edison had 31. That was the first game in the UCL where Mbappe didn't have a shot on target. So defensively, we dealt with everything. I don't think PSG created a lot of clear-cut chances. They were just dangerous from set pieces and, on the break. So even if we do concede, I wouldn't do that. When Rodri and Fernandinho play, it is counterintuitive because we can't progress the ball. Like we can't bypass their midfield because we don't have those dribblers like the likes of Gundogan or Kevin De Bruyne, or just people that take those spaces behind PSG's midfield. So in no situation would I do that. I'd only do that at the end when you want to shore things up and tighten the defense and win the game. So not at all, honestly. Ritvik, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I don't completely agree with you on that. I just think that if we get one early goal, second half, Rodri should come on because we've seen how dominant PSG are on the set pieces and on corners. Rodri is the tallest in City's 11, and I think he'll add to, defending those set pieces. Like, even if he didn't do that last game, I think it's just a bonus to have on the pitch. Two DMs, they'll stop those counters, they'll do the dirty work like Fernandinho does. Just having, someone like him is going to help us if we get that early goal. If we don't get the early goal, no, he doesn't need to be there. But once we get that first goal, I think bring him on in the second half instead of Gundogan.
Just a little point on that is that if we get another CDM, the distance between De Bruyne and the two DMs on the pitch alone will be huge, and that alone will allow us to not create anything on the pitch. And there's only so much of keeping of the ball you can do, and PSG just need that one opportunity to score a goal, and game's done. But anyway, enough talk about City. I'll go to Arnav for this one. When do PSG, just absolutely go gung-ho? Because they need to score 2 goals to win this game in any case. So do you think they should even take that approach? Maybe get a Moise Kean as well. How do you think they should approach this? Because having someone like Herrera as well in that midfield makes it quite defensive. So what's your take on all of that?
See, I think they need to be attacking from minute 1. As far as substitutions are concerned, unless somebody is having an absolute stinker, you don't change them before halftime. Or, if they concede a goal or something, although that doesn't change the fact that they still need to. Mbappe, I think he'll only be fit for like 45, so he can't come on before halftime either way. So as far as changes in personnel are concerned, wait till halftime at least. But start the game on a bright, positive, attacking note. Take 15-20 minutes to get into the game and maybe nick a goal. But I think when they really need to start going all guns blazing, or gung-ho as we call it, is after the half-hour mark. If it's 0-0 at the half-hour mark, I think they should start going gung-ho, because you can't wait till the second half or till the hour mark. It's not easy to get 2 goals against a really good City side, and when they know that all they've got to do is defend. Anything to add?
Nothing to add. You summed it up very, very well. But I just want to take some comments really quickly before we go into the next segment. Shoya Tyagi, he says, haha, City loss incoming only for MTAG. Yes, please hope and pray. Pray to any god you want. I don't want these Mancunians in the final, man. No chance. Okay, so the question that I asked you guys, we've got a couple of answers over here. The question I asked was, and thank you, Gaurav, for correcting me, was how many coaches, well, there are 3 coaches who won a record 3 UCL/European Cups. Who are they? So Shoya Tyagi, he first commented saying, Zidane, Ancelotti, and Shoya, you're a Liverpool fan. I expect you to know this. Shameful. Gaurav Pratap Singh is the winner ultimately. He says Ancelotti, Zidane, and Bob Paisley. That is correct for Liverpool because Liverpool have won it 6 times. Repeat after me. Well done, Gaurav. Round of applause for you. Taking a few more comments. Daksh says, Arnav, you really don't want us to go through, right?
Not at all.
Yeah, no chance.
Not at all, man. I won't be able to watch the final in peace. I don't want either of City or Chelsea to go through. If both of them go through, I'm probably not watching the final.
Fair enough. Okay, Ishza Malik with a comment. She says, waiting to sip the tea like Ritvik on the live when City loses. Yes, absolutely. We'll all join.
So am I.
Me, man.
Okay. Okay, final comment. Gaurav with an excellent stat over here. He says, Opta, PSG won their last 5 matches in all competitions which Mbappe hasn't started under Pochettino. Now, keep in mind that I'm sure these matches are in the Farmers League, that is Liga, and not a Champions League semi-final against Manchester City. So, little, you can make of that what you will. But anyway, guys, I want to take you guys into a separate segment of your key player for tonight. Who is it? Why are they going to shine? And what difference are they going to make? Who wants to go first? Just raise your hand.
Ritvik, go for it.
I'll go first. My key player for City is the birthday boy Fernandinho. His job is to stop those counters. His job is to prevent PSG from scoring. And if he does that, we're already in the lead. We're gonna win, and we're gonna go to the first ever Champions League final. Come on.
You know what? That was my pick as well. I was gonna go for Fernandinho, birthday boy, and I thought he's gonna have an absolute masterclass. But just to be different, I'll go for Zinchenko actually. Not because he's gonna change the game, but because he really needs to be good. Di Maria in the last game was absolutely sensational. I mean, the amount of heart attacks he gave me in that game, I mean, it was not healthy, honestly. He was absolutely brilliant. Spun João Cancelo like a Beyblade, honestly. And if Zinchenko has that sort of a game, my God, they're going to be devastating, especially because he starts those counters as well. So Zinchenko needs to be very solid defensively. And he just needs to do the basics of football, as Fabian Delph says. Shout out to Fabian Delph, by the way, because we're doing random shout outs, taking a cue from Adi. Why not give a shout out to Fabian Delph? I think Zinchenko just needs to keep it very simple. He needs to be very solid at the back and make sure that Di Maria does not have a masterclass. Adi, let's go to you first. Who's your pick?
It's good you touched upon Di Maria there. I think Di Maria is my pick for PSG. I would agree with Zinchenko as well. He had an absolutely fantastic game. Like you said, just resonating your points again, he absolutely wrecked Cancelo, sent him back to Portugal. This guy was, halfway home. But I think Di Maria, for me, could make the difference, especially since Mbappe is missing. He needs to step up alongside Neymar. So Di Maria for me, pretty much. Arnav, to you.
Yeah, I'll start with City. I think Ruben Dias has to be the key player tonight. Firstly, he has to make sure he's the one marking Marquinhos. I don't know what he was thinking, letting Cancelo mark him. He's obviously PSG's most biggest threat in the box. So he has to take some onus and mark Marquinhos. And he'll be dealing with Icardi too. So I think he'll be dealing with a fair amount of crosses today. And since a clean sheet or even conceding one takes City through, I think it's the defense that has to take precedence over their attack, at least for tonight. For PSG, I was about to go with Di Maria, but since he's already been taken, I'll go with Neymar. Obvious pick, but tonight is one of those nights where he has to do it all. He has to create and he has to finish, because at least for the first half, Mbappe is not going to be there. It's Mbappe did it without him against Barca. They did it together against Bayern, and it's almost going to be poetic if he does it alone against City now. So a lot of pressure on him, and I hope he can find the net tonight.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just going to take some comments really quickly. A lot of people getting in with their key players as well. Gaurav first says, hot take prediction of the game. City end the game with 10 men and hopefully some tears, lol. Gaurav, by the way, is the biggest Neymar fan. Gaurav, I promise you can save this. If Neymar scores a goal to knock City out, I will buy you this season's PSG jersey with Neymar 10 on the back. I promise you that.
Adi,
go.
if Neymar scores and PSG win, you shave your head.
There's no way that's happening. There's no way.
Yeah, guys, that is on camera. If Neymar touches the ball tonight, Adi will shave his head. He's going to go on an absolute madness. So that is on camera right now. Please remind us of that. He's going to do it on camera. He's going to do a Lindsay Lohan in 2021. So that's on.
We're
camera.
under lockdown
Adi,
anyway. Go for it.
Yeah, man, go
Sideline.
for it. Why
Death
not?
sentence. It's a death sentence. Okay, Ronaldo 1 2 3 rocks. The legend is back. He says, and I quote: "Arnav के लिए एक Europa stream तो बनता है. Adi can lead it, so he gets some practice for next year." Good point. I'm going to be in the Conference League, by the way, not even the Europa League, so there's no point. Srini, you want to add? That's what you want to say.
ये यूरोपा में भी नहीं होगा. He's going to be in the Conference League, so he won't even be a part of those streams. Arnav is smashing Roma, so he's a happy man. But let's take some more comments.
Speaking facts, Daksh Vayani says, Gundogan for me. Okay, half decent shout. Gaurav says, Kyle Walker, most key for City. His lapses are always costly, always. Nay for PSG because, well, he's Neymar. Fair enough. Nikhil Krishna says, Icardi going to sneak one in from the corner for the win. Oof, if only. Shoya Tagi says, score predictions, lads. We're going to get to that in just a bit. He says 3-1 Paris. Okay, interesting. And finally, Gaurav says, if Neymar gets fouled more than 12 times, City fans shave their heads. Yes, absolutely bang on. 12 fouls for Neymar. You guys are shaving your heads. Otherwise, don't show up here.
If City win the Champions League, I might shave my head. I'm not lying.
Okay, that's on camera.
Yeah, that's on camera. Okay, fair enough.
And guys, it's gonna happen on camera. Adibir is gonna shave his head. Ritvik is gonna do it as well. Arnav and myself, we're gonna keep our hair. So I don't.
Yeah.
I actually.
We're the wise ones.
Yeah, we don't need that to happen. Honestly, we don't need that to happen.
Well, guys, I mean, look at the amazing content we're giving you. Click that subscribe button right now. Like Shaurya says, caught on camera. Absolutely, click the subscribe button. Guys, do you want to go to the predictions now? Should we do that?
Yeah, might as well. So let's
actually have a small little question before we get to the predictions. It's yet again for the City boys. So Pep's comments last night, and he said that in his experience, he feels that the second leg semi is harder than the final because you've got the first leg lead or deficit to deal with, and you've also got an eye on the final. So sometimes you can forget your task for the day. So what do you guys make of that?
Let's go for it. Why not?
I'll go for it. I'm going to tell you why Pep says so. Okay, Pep is the biggest overthinker in football, right? And when you look at the second leg of the semi, it's the biggest overthinking game there is because you're one step away from the final and you're one mistake away from not reaching there. So he has a lot to think about, and which is why he made that comment. And I kind of understand that because it's so close yet so far if you don't make it. And yeah, I mean, I might agree with him because finals are very conservative and they probably just get settled by just one goal. Whereas in this game, anything can happen. Shri?
Yeah, I mean, all I would say is that when it comes to Pep's comments, you should never take them literally because I think Pep does what even I would do if I was a manager. Never give a straight answer. You don't owe the media a direct answer when it comes to anything. If you say it's the biggest game of our lives, you're adding unnecessary pressure. If you're being very, very cocky, again, you're just waiting to become a meme. So you should never underestimate any game, and which is why whether he's playing Cheltenham or whether he's playing Real Madrid in their prime, he's going to treat it like the biggest game of his life. So I don't think there's any need for the media to have a direct take on what Pep thinks. I'm sure Pep takes every game seriously, and yeah, that's about it. That's why City are where they are. So that's my take. Adi, go for it.
Yeah, just coming in on that, Pep Guardiola is a master of mind games. In fact, he's so good that he hasn't played a Champions League final in 10 years. He's brilliant. What a guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go straight into the predictions now. Straight into the predictions. I want to give a quick shout out to Srini and I, by the way. Srini, we both predicted the score right last time, as well as Srini got Marquinhos a scorer and Mahrez, if I'm correct. Arnav as well.
See. My key. Yeah, we have to boast. I have to get that in. I must boast. My key players were Marquinhos for PSG and Mahrez for City. And we all know what they did.
Srini.
Yeah, and I have to boast as well. I said Marquinhos would score from a set piece because we're weak at set pieces, so that happened. And I said Mahrez, if he got a penalty, 100% give it to him. Got the free kick, he scored, and I said he scored the winner. I said he scored the winner as well. He's my second scorer. So,
well,
so I just had to get that in there.
Gloating. Yeah, go ahead, go.
Srini, you said 2-0.
Go for it, why not?
2-0. So how is Mahrez the winner?
So you said he's
2-1. I also said 2-1.
Fair enough.
I think didn't all of us say 2-1, guys? By the way,
I did.
I said 1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Can
Fair
we
enough.
talk
But,
about this game now? Can we get the predictions for this game,
Yeah,
please?
sure.
yeah, man. Let's do
Who
it.
wants to
Let's
go
do
first?
it.
Ritvik, you want to go first?
I think it's going to be 2-1 City again. I think City will get the first, PSG will come with the second, and when PSG is going to score the third, City are going to score their second goal. The scorers to be today, I think Fernandinho, birthday boy, and Riyad Mahrez. And for PSG, I think it's going to be Mario Cardi. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I want you guys to go first. Arnav, since you got the predictions right last time, why don't you go again? What's your take? And who are your scorers as well?
Yeah, see, this might be wishful thinking, but I'm gonna go with 2-1 PSG. So the game goes to extra time, and extra time predictions are too hard, man. So I think 2-1 PSG, and PSG pull it off on penalties. So it's even harder for you City boys to digest.
Wow, that is harsh. Gaurav, I just want to take Gaurav's comment really quick. Gaurav's a Liverpool fan, right? Yeah, that's why he's salty. He says
He's an Arsenal
PSG
fan. He's an
2.
Arsenal fan.
He's an Arsenal fan. Oh, then are you guys making Conference League? Let me know. You have a Europa. You have an Unai Emery masterclass to deal with. I can't even take that seriously. Nah, I'm kidding, Gaurav. Thank you so much for the comment, man. And of course, you got the answer right as well. But he says PSG 2, City 0, City end with 10-0, and PSG 1 penalty goal. Wow. Okay, so everything goes wrong for us. Brilliant. Okay, Adi, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go for. I think I'm gonna go for 3-0, 2-0 City. I'll say 2-0 City. Yeah, I don't. PSG don't have a chance for me. Honestly, I'm being honest. I think Mahrez and I'm gonna say Foden to score today. And yeah, easy work. Srini, to you.
You know what? I'll also go for a 2-0 City win. I'll go for Gundogan to score the first goal, and I'll go for Aguero to score the second, just because I want it to happen. It has to happen. It just has to happen, man. It's too much. I mean, after that last goal, we need
He's
that
not
to
even
happen.
coming on.
But, please, he's gonna come on tonight. I'm calling it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for so many comments. I'm so hyped for this game. Oh my god! By the way, before we end the show, Kanav has a comment as well. He says Poch will surprise y'all. Wow.
Let's hope so.
Let's see, man. Let's see. We hope it doesn't happen. Anyway. Oh my god! I mean, these guys are so hyped for us to lose. I mean, I'd rather go bald than this actually happening. All this gloating, all this stick that I'm gonna get on the groups. It's gonna be absolutely mental. But of course, thank you so much for watching, guys. We appreciate each and every comment so much. And we're gonna do a lot more of these, and we're probably gonna go bald on camera. So you should definitely join us for the lives. Of course, subscribe. Oh yeah, of course. Adi is going bald. That's done. That's a done deal, whatever happens. But of course, subscribe right now, guys, if you enjoyed the live. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, like, subscribe. What else do you do? You follow us on Instagram.
Share it with your friends.
Twitter. Share it with your friends, man. Do all of that. Tell your friends about it, like the weekend song. All of that. Of course, hope you enjoy the Champions League game. It's absolutely massive. I'm so hyped for this one. And until next time, we move.